Hi, I'm Alison Tafe. If you haven't met me before, I am the owner and director of ICE, the Institute of Culinary Excellence. So what I'm going to try and do is just start you off with some basics. So let's go right to the beginning, and we're going to go through some basic knife skills, knife cuts. So today's class is going to be cutting a macedoine. So first things first, these days we have to do sanitizer, you know, we all know that. We're going to wash hands first, and then I'm going to get my bench ready. So just hold on there. I'm just going to wash my hands to get started. I've washed my hands, dried them off. All right, we're also going to use a sanitizer to make sure our bench is very clean. I don't want to use the little green one because it's too small, so I'm just going to put you there as a reminder. So the best trick, and you probably already know this, you can put a wet chucks underneath. I usually just use a couple of bits of paper, and I wet them down, and I make my own little protection board like that. All right, we're going to do a macedoine. Don't ask me what macedoine means. All I can think of is Macedoine, Macedonia. It's a country. Perhaps the Macedonians cut their veg into a dice. Who knows? But it's called a macedoine. All you've got to remember is it's a 6 to 8 millimeter dice. It's a big old dice, just like a casino dice. It's got to be straight on all sides, it's got to be the same size, it's got to have sharp corners, and we can roll this just like we would anywhere, all right? Easiest way of doing a dice is to use something big, so the big sweet potato or the normal potato or a swede or a turnip, something that's bulbous, something big like a tuber, not the tuba instrument, but I meant a tuba. Something big. Now doing it from a carrot this big is absolutely a joke because you're going to get 2 dice out of that piece and you're going to waste the rest. The bigger the carrot, sure, you can do it, but you can't cut a 6 to 8 millimeter dice from a capsicum, and you're going to be very hard pushed to do that from a leek because the slices are already about 1 mil thick. So there's certain vegetables that can be used. All right, let's do the macedoine together. So I've cut the sweet potato into half so it's manageable. Now this is a dice, so it doesn't matter the length or height of your block. You still need to cut a block, all right? So let's square off these edges using that same safe technique. But remember, when you square off, this is a right angle. So you need to make sure that you don't just cut here or here. This is the actual clean right angle to make that beautiful square point at the end, all right? Let's move him round, and again, so already you've got all this waste. Well, we're going to use it for something. I'll make soup or something. But what you need to make sure of is that everything you do has a right angle. That slips a little bit there, but look, there you go. So this here, we can put this into our paysan, or we can cut this down for soup. So I'm going to keep this on my prep tray. That will go into my usable trimmings, okay? You cannot put that into a stock. It's starchy, it's going to give out cloudiness, it's going to make the stock not clear, and also it's going to break up. So you can't do that, but you can put that into a nice soup, make a gorgeous sweet potato, coriander, turmeric soup would be lovely, and you can also make that as a mash or puree. All right, there's lots of things you can do, but at the moment we're only concerning ourselves with this. All right, so we already have our base, our block. The thing is, now we've got to cut slices that are 6 to 8 mil and dice that are 6 to 8 mil. So it doesn't matter about the size of this because it's not the actual length, is it? It's the tiny dice. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll make sure that when we cut this, we're going to cut a 6 to 8 millimeter piece straight down just like so. This bit now is too big, so you're going to take this, and if you want to measure it, sure, you can. I don't need to because I can see it. Look, there you go. That piece is not able to be used for that. That could actually go into, if you think about it, that could have gone into our jardiniere. Look, perfect. Why don't I just put that in there? It's awesome. Look, put that into my little jardiniere. Nice. The jardiniere has to be a mixture of veg that take all the same time to cook. All right, that's important. You know, 10, 12, maybe 15 minutes, it all has to cook at the same time. So remember that. That might be a little bit softer than everything else. I'd probably cook that separate and mix it at the end. All right, okay. So now we've got these 2 humdinger of a slice. We now need to make sure that once we cut, we've got our nice straight edges. We're perfect there. Next thing we need to do is to make sure that that depth there is continued into this size strip there. Look. And that bit there needs a trim. It's not right. Look. Now these, if you did this as potatoes, these are what we call pont neuf, or almost like a pomme frite potato. This is what you boil or blanch first, and then you put back into the fryer to make the most amazing English, not French, English chips. So now we're going to turn those over, and look, we're going to make these beautiful little dices, all the same. The test is, does that roll? And yes, it does. Does that one roll? Yay! This is our macedoine, 6 to 8 millimetres cubed, and it's a dice. Again, we're going to go down there and there. Actually, that was a little bit wide. Let me cut that down. And again, we're going to use that chop, 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 and they go in together. Beautiful. So, as you can see, using a sweet potato or a potato makes life so easy. The carrot, not so easy with a thin carrot, and especially not if it's even thinner than that. You can't do it with celery because it's too thin. You can't do it with any of those other things. So a macedoine is usually swede, turnip, sweet potato, potato, or even pumpkin. Okay? Macedoine. Let me get my bowl. It's done.